The exacerbation of climate change and a lack of political policy and support continues to be a direct threat towards sustainability measures targeted to reduce the negative impacts of a warming planet. The current vision amongst national policymakers is that climate change is not real, or that it is something that does not deserve additional attention or funding. This is a generalization. However, from a holistic perspective, it is an obvious general consensus based off of measures that have been taken over the last year or so. For instance, pulling the US out of the Paris Agreement. Forecasts continue to show warming on a global scale if the actions of those involved in the Paris Agreement are not complemented globally. Therefore, it is imperative that the world tackle this issue as a concern for all of mankind in order to stabilize the global mean temperature by reducing CO2 emissions. Communities will ultimately suffer from a warming planet. Some are already suffering, as additional stresses are put on agriculture and coastal areas. Some people will not be able to adapt or mitigate the effects of climate change due to ongoing socioeconomic issues. As we move forward, we must continue to promote the development of sustainable solutions to energy production to include a better cost versus benefit analysis. Federally funded projects such as injecting sulfur gases or aerosols into the stratosphere to increase albedo pose as reactive measures that can have positive effects. However, as mentioned before, our current policymakers are currently against mostly anything with regards to sustainability and climate change. Due to the current resistance at the national level, I believe the best way to combat this is by inverting the spectrum and tackling this issue from the bottom up as opposed to the top down. For instance, get out and vote. Get your voice heard. Lastly, push your local government to implement sustainable policies and goals that focus on lessening the carbon footprint of your community.